anew, carefully unfurled an ancient scroll. It was the marriage pact, written long ago by the water god and his father, a binding agreement across generations. "Jinmi," he said softly, "please, inscribe your name." She looked at the scroll, a flicker of innocent curiosity in her eyes, and wrote her name as he asked. Runyu smiled. "Your handwriting is lovely." It looked strangely familiar. Only later would he realize it was Xufeng who had taught her. He noticed how fondly she gazed at his nightmare beast. "From now on, he will accompany you," Runyu declared, his voice gentle. "Ray, when he grows stronger, he will be your loyal steed." He paused, a hint of concern in his eyes. "I must warn you, Jinmi, I hold no high rank, and my allies are few. Marrying me might bring you hardships." But Jinmi, ever naive and trusting, simply thought that all mortal women must eventually marry. Besides, marrying a deity could surely help her cultivate spiritual power. Boldly, she looked at him and asked, "So, when can we begin our spiritual practice together?" Runyu, caught off guard and a little flustered, insisted there was no rush to distract her. He began to recount the tragic love story of the ephemeral blooming flower, a tale that quickly captured her imagination. They made a pact to meet at the appointed hour every night, with no excuses and no delays. Meanwhile, under the cover of darkness, Yanyu was in deep trouble. He had broken into the southern heavenly gate and was now being relentlessly pursued by celestial soldiers. Just as he was about to be caught, the Mouse Immortal appeared, whisking him away to safety. At the Mouse Immortal's residence, Yanyu noticed signs of an intrusion but couldn't find the intruder. The Mouse Immortal began to scold him for his earlier recklessness in rescuing Jinmi, but Yanyu defended his actions, insisting that Jinmi's true form had unknowingly aided their cause. He even predicted that the two princes, Runyu and Xufeng, would eventually clash over her, an outcome he secretly welcomed. He then voiced his concern. The fire god Xufeng was starting to suspect the water god, but a water god had been careful, never tampering with the letters and always returning them as they were. "Keep the letters," the Mouse Immortal instructed. "They are our leverage." He knew that a union between the water god and the night god would infuriate the Empress. But as he prepared to review the letters himself, he discovered they had vanished. Back in her own world, Jinmi overheard two young attendants whispering. They called her a demonic prodigy. Confused, she remembered the fire god, Zhu, gifting her the precious Wendi Fenjiang, an artifact reserved only for the closest of allies. Why would they call her a demon? She confronted them, and they fled in embarrassment. Her mind drifted to her date with Xufeng yesterday, and she prepared to leave. But the nightmare beast, Runyu's gift, tugged at her clothes, stubbornly refusing to let her go. At the Zhuangji Palace gate, Liaoting arrived with the delivery of spiritual dumplings for Xufeng. Guanglu, ever loyal, refused to accept them on his behalf, hinting at the principle of first come, first served while defending the second prince's honor. The marriage between the night guard and Jinmi was predestined 4,000 years ago, she exclaimed. Defeated Liaoting let her deliver the dumplings. Guanglu found Jinmi wrestling with the stubborn nightmare beast. She delivered Liaoting's message, but also added a gentle warning. Your future is with the first prince. It must not become entangled with the second prince. As she spoke, Guanglu removed the red thread tied around the dumplings, a symbol of past events that should be forgotten. Jinmi, thinking Runyu and Xufeng had skipped their meeting, didn't hesitate and quickly ate a dumpling. Elsewhere, Xufeng informed Runyu that he had sealed all the gates. It's a trap to catch Yanyu, he exclaimed. Runyu was grateful. He knew Xufeng's actions were meant to protect him without straining their brotherly bond. Just then, a guard, Loyan, reported a black-clothed figure heading toward Zhuangji Palace. Realizing Jinmi was still inside. Runyu and Xufeng rushed to her side. They found her with Yan Yu. He explained he was being chased and had come to say farewell. Jinmi, always quick-witted, suggested using herself as a hostage, but Yan Yu flatly refused. Moments later, Xufeng and Runyu arrived with soldiers. Xufeng immediately cast a protective spell around Jinmi as the soldiers surrounded Yan Yu. But Yan Yu was a formidable fighter, and he swiftly defeated his attackers. Xufeng stepped forward to engage him personally. "Do something," Jinmi urged Runyu, but Runyu hesitated. "I must confirm something," he said, before cautiously joining the fray. Suddenly, a masked figure appeared, hurling a spiritual fire orb that created a diversion. Rescuing Yan Yu, Runyu recognized the attacker was the same person who had disrupted Xufeng's spiritual awakening. The masked figure fought fiercely to free Yan Yu, ultimately sacrificing himself in the process. When Runyu and Xufeng subdued him, they were shocked to find it was the Mouse Immortal. He immediately demanded an audience with the Heavenly Emperor. Hidden in the shadows, the Empress's agent, Qon, witnessed everything. He hastily tried to leave and report back, but was spotted by Xufeng later. The Mouse Immortal met with a disguised Yan Yu. He explained that their actions at the banquet had drawn the Empress's attention. Her only option was to escalate the matter directly to the Heavenly Emperor. He entrusted the bird tribe forces to Yan Yu for delivery to their master and planned to meet again at Dongtin Lake in 3 months. The next day, the Mouse Immortal presented himself before the Heavenly Emperor. He took full responsibility for the attack on the Fire God and for disrupting the Night Goddess ceremony. The Empress arrived, ready to witness the trial. Runyu presented the spiritual fire orb as evidence. When the Empress questioned Yan Yu's involvement, the Mousy Immortal staunchly denied it. Then, the Empress made a stunning accusation, declaimed the Water God and the Night God were secretly exchanging forbidden magic. The letters, which had mysteriously appeared at the Mouse Immortal's residence, supposedly contained deadly water techniques aimed at eliminating Xufeng. She urged the Heavenly Emperor to investigate thoroughly, declaring that criminals must not be allowed to escape justice. The Water God was summoned. The Mouse Immortal calmly explained that the deadly artifacts mentioned actually originated from the Heavenly Emperor himself. He took full responsibility, insisting his actions were righteous. He then revealed his long-held resentment toward the Empress for her constant interference, vowing to expose her crimes to the entire realm. A tense silence fell over the palace. Runyu and Xufeng exchanged a look, the immense weight of the political intrigue pressing down on them. Jinmi watched, her heart pounding, feeling the threads of destiny tightening around her. She felt both frightened and resolved, realizing her actions could sway the outcome. She looked to Runyu and Xufeng, trusting them to protect her. The Empress glared, searching for any sign of weakness, while the Heavenly Emperor observed, weighing justice against strategy. The letters, artifacts, and testimonies formed a complex web of motives, alliances, and betrayals. Jinmei's eyes widened as she grasped the sheer gravity of celestial politics. Runyu met her gaze, silently reassuring her, while Xufeng silently vowed his protection. The trio stood united amidst the swirling tension. The Empress's voice echoed through the hall, demanding further investigation. The hall fell into quiet murmurs, but it was the deceptive calm before a storm. The spiritual fire orb glimmered, a symbol of hidden truths and unresolved conflicts. Jinmi closed her eyes, gathering her courage, ready to face whatever came next. "Trust must guide our actions," Runyu whispered, his voice calm, but his eyes burning with determination. "We'll reveal the truth." Xufeng nodded, ready to act at the precise moment. The trial had only just begun. The Empress leaned forward, her mind calculating, intent on discerning any deceit. Each word, each glance, could tip the scales of power. And Jinmi, feeling the weight of prophecy and personal choice, knew that even her smallest decision could now send ripples across the heavens. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into the story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you next time.